we talked about a flow profile healing channels. So what John is talking about is the idea that in a traditional machine that's just trying to exert, let's just say, a certain amount of pressure, when there's a channel, the machine is going to keep exerting that amount of pressure, and it's going to exploit that channel, and it's just going to basically like make the channel worse and worse and worse, right?
It's going to increase the flow, is what's going to happen.
Right. So with a flow profile, the machine is trying to maintain a constant level of flow, and it's adjusting the pressure dynamically to do that. So when the machine encounters a channel, the flow will begin to rise because of the channel, and the machine will say, hey, I don't want the flow to rise, and it'll back off on the pressure. And by backing off on the pressure, in theory, the channel will actually fill in a little bit, and the puck will have more integrity than if it didn't do that. So our theory, although I'm not sure that it helps us that much sometimes, but because I think to your point, our theory is that a flow profile can heal channels and might make bad shots better. And I think there's truth in that. Unfortunately, I don't think flow profiling has helped us, like you're saying, it hasn't helped us make like amazing shots. It doesn't make, when you're a good barista pulling a good shot, flow profile doesn't make a better shot than a pressure profile does, right?
So let's go back to flow profile shots, because there are a couple companies making flow machines, and some people think flow shots are just going to be better. In the current state of the art, that's just not true. The best shots that you're going to taste are ones where all three things are nailed. You have the flow you want, the pressure you want, at the temperature you want. And if you get one of those wrong, the shot will be substantially less good.
Right.
So that's just the way it is. So you can get the best shot theoretically from any control, but that's the first thing. So one thing that was discovered that just destroyed our ability to make good flow profiling shots. Everyone knows that the puck compresses as it pre-infuses, right? And I learned that it's around 3 to 4 bar is where that happens.
Okay.
We built our machine up to go to 13 bar because that seemed like a nice upper number. What happened though is when we started doing flow shots, is it turns out flow rises pressure to the square. So a small change in flow causes a big change in pressure. So if you're trying to make the best shot that nails the right flow and nails the right pressure, your flow knob is essentially very coarse.
Yeah, okay.
Small change in flow causes a big change in pressure. Whereas if you change pressure just a little bit, your flow is tiny, tiny, tiny changes. So if you're really close to where you want to be, adjusting that pressure is a really, really fine knob, whereas flow is a really coarse knob. So that's the first problem we encountered.
By the way, I feel so stupid. You've just totally enlightened me on why I had, okay, now I'm like, you've educated me. That's great. Okay.
Oh, good. Radio's learned something. That's
all right. Awesome. Awesome.
I'll scratch a mark on the wall. But the second thing, which is a major discovery in coffee that no one's talking about yet, is that there is a secondary puck compression at around 10.5 bar.
Okay.
As you increase pressure, flow also increases, and then as you hit around 10 bar, as you keep increasing pressure, the flow actually decreases. Now that's contrary to what you think, right? If you have pushing, right? The more you push, the faster something's going to go.
Right.
It turns out not. So it turns out around 10.5 bar, we think, I mean, I'm talking to Gagne about this, and we think that the ground coffee particles are actually being misshapen around 10.5 bar. We're actually reshaping the coffee particles at that point so that they're going from like this to balls.
So you think the particles are changing, or you think the puck is changing?
So the particles inside the puck. In other words, everything's kind of an arrangement of weirdly shaped things.
Yeah. And
then as you hit 10 bar, you're actually causing the particles to start to bend and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's what we think. That's what we think. That's our theory. We have not know it. Yeah, we don't have a camera. But and the reason Gagne thinks that is that when you back off the pressure and come back to 9 bar, your flow comes back to normal. So we don't appear to be making a permanent change to the coffee puck at 10.
Right.
So the reason flow profiling is also now extremely hard to do, and you said there's nothing new to improve, just this is where the story is coming back to, is that with small changes in flow, your pressure changes. So there you are at 8 or 9 bar, you make a slight change in flow, suddenly you're at 10.5 bar, and the world goes to hell. Because now you get a secondary puck compression, your flow rate plummets, you get nasty flavors, and people go, well, this flow profiling is too hard to dial in.
Right.
So what I've got on my desk right now is a beta version, and I have to integrate it into my software that lets you do flow profiling, but with a pressure ceiling. So what you can do is say, don't go above 9.5 bar, because that's the point at which more flow gives us more pressure, which then decreases flow.
Right.
I think that this is the secret sauce that will let us do flow profiling. Now, someone just said differential equation. One of the things we also do, though, is we used to essentially slam the puck with pressure. Like you say you want 10 bar, and we like go whack, give it as fast as you can. And that would essentially cause the puck to super compress. And what we do now, we did about a year ago, is as we start to approach your goal, we back off and we gently approach the goal.
Right.
Which turns out to be a lot nicer to the puck.
Right. Okay, so in Illy's book, as we all know pretty much, that he didn't say 10.5 bar, but in Illy's book, they talked about how there was a certain point where, you're increasing pressure, you're increasing flow, and then at some point the puck resistance goes up by increasing the pressure too much. So that was a known concept, and this is what John is calling secondary puck compression. Just in case that's not clear, the first puck compression is the compression that happens when the puck gets wet during pre-infusion, and then the secondary compression is if you let the pressure go up to, say, 10.5 bar or higher, the puck is going to get even more compressed suddenly. So anyway, I just want to clarify that in case that wasn't super clear.